So, good evening to all dear students. Again, we'll continue some of the important part of the digestive system, that is tongue. Okay, earlier we have already discussed some of the important feature, but the detail we must have to learn about the digestive system. So today we'll discuss about the tongue. Okay, so it is very much important to know about the tongue. Okay, so let's come back to the important features. So tongue is a muscular organ. Okay, it is situated in the floor of the mouth. So here, look here. So this one is the muscular organ situated on the floor of the mouth. Okay, this one is the vocal cavity or the mouth. We are getting the mean the floor of the mouth. So what are the function of the tongue? First one is the taste. Okay, first function of the tongue is taste. Second function will be the speech, and third function will be the mastication, and fourth function will be the deglutition. Okay, so let's come back to one by one. First, we will touch about the taste. Okay, taste. The taste buds are present on the surface of the tongue. As we have already discussed in anatomy of tongue. So these taste buds are, we can judge the taste of any dish. Okay, basically we can okay, just wait. Lucky, you have to mute your sound. Okay, next. Basically, taste for what purposes we have to. Man, that tongue is very much important. First on the taste. Taste will we will know the different taste of the different food. Basically, we'll get the sour, salt. Okay. Another one is the what? Sweet. Another one is the bitter. So these are the four types of taste we will get. Okay. So another one is the speech. Speech, the tongue helps in speech. It manipulates the speech you have seen the larynx. Okay. Who that means the tongue is also helps in the speech. Let's come back to the mastication. Mastication means chewing. What is the meaning of mastication? It means chewing. Chew में चुबा के खाना है. Okay, next another important thing is that the tongue along with teeth help in the chewing. It helps in the movement of food in the mouth. So why that this tongue is important? Because it helps in the movement of the food inside the vocal cavity. So that the if the foods are remain in the mouth, that can be easily come with the help of the teeth. Okay, or that teeth will help in the process of the mastication. Another important thing is that deglutition. What is the meaning of deglutition? Deglutition means what? Mean swallowing of the food. Okay, swallowing of the food. The tongue pushes back the food inside the what? Mouth, that will goes to the esophagus. That kind of function will be performed by the what? Tongue. Let's come back to the another importance of the okay, the external features of tongue. You look here, this one is the tongue. Basically, we'll get the three important part. One is the root part, another on the body part, another on the apex part. So in this way, there are three features we'll get in the where? In the tongue. So root part is attached to the mandible and soft palate above and higher bone below. Okay, just here, look here. Then mean the root is means root part is attached to the what mandible. This one is the root part that is attached to the mandible. Okay. Another important soft palate I have already told you. Soft palate will be present in the above of mean superiorly will get the superiorly will get the soft palate, and just below that we'll get the hyoid bone. Okay, so in this way the root is attached. These attachment prevent the swallowing of the tongue. Mean that the tongue will not go to backward. Will not go to backward mean that means it it will go when it will push the food again will come back. If there will not be any kind of this attachment, definitely the tongue will not come return back to their normal position. That's why the root is attached to the mandible and soft palate above, means superiorly, and the hyoid bone below. These attachments prevent the swallowing of the tongue. In between two bones, it is related to the geniohyoid and mylohyoid muscle. Okay, this means it is related to the geniohyoid bone, another the mylohyoid muscle. This is attached with these two bones. Let's come back to the tip. Okay, tip of the tongue forms the anterior free and which lies behind the upper incisor teeth. Okay, next come back to the body. Body has a curved upper surface or dorsum and inferior or ventral surface. Okay, next come back to dorsum portion of the tongue. Okay, it is a convex in all direction. It is convex in all direction. It is divided into oral part, anterior 2/3 will get, okay, pharyngeal part, post 1/3 portion, and posterior part of the tongue. Another one is the sulcus terminale, V-shaped sulcus that separates the oral and pharyngeal part. Foramen cecum. The limbs of the V meet at the median pit. They run laterally, forms towards the palatoglossal arches. The foramen cecum represents the site from which thyroid diverticulum grows down in the embryo. So, in this way, the dorsum part of the tongue is present. In oral part, we will get the anteriorly 2/3 portion of the tongue. Pharyngeal part 1/3 portion will be present. Posterior mean back part of the tongue, and another the sulcus terminalis. These are the some of the structure that is associated with the dorsum part of the tongue. Let's come back to the inferior ventral surface. Inferior mean lower part. Okay, it confined to the oral part only. Inferior surface is covered with a smooth mucous membrane, which shows a median fold called frenulum lingui. Okay, look here. This one is the ventral surface. Okay, at the same time, mean upper portion is known as mean front. This one is the dorsal surface. This one is the ventral surface. Ventral surface is attached with a mucous membrane. Okay, median fold called frenulum lingui. On either side of the frenulum, and on the side in the, okay, look here, this one is the left side and the right side. Okay, frenulum, there is a prominent produced by the deep lingual vein. Here we'll get the deep lingual vein. More laterally, there is a fold called plica fimbriata that is directed forwards and medially towards the tip of the tongue. Okay, so let us come back to the another structure, important structure. Oral and pharyngeal parts of the tongue differ in their development, topography, structure, and function. First, come back to the oral part. Oral part or papillary part of the tongue lies in the mouth or floor of the mouth, lies in front of the palatoglossal arches and the sulcus terminalis. Another important thing is that its margins are free in contact with the gums and teeth, just in front of the palatoglossal arch. Each margin shows 4 to 5 vertical folds, named foliate papillae. Superior surface of the oral part shows a median furrow. It's covered with papillae which make it raw. Okay, we'll see the details actually part of the whenever we'll see look here. Okay, just come back to previous slide. We'll see. Okay, here we'll get this type of surfaces. Okay, mean we'll come back to the little. Another importance of the pharyngeal part, that is also called as lymphoid part of the tongue, is lies in the pharynx. Okay, lies mean रहना, इसके साथ रहना है. Lies behind the palatoglossal arches and sulcus terminally. Its posterior surface, called the base of the tongue, forms the anterior wall of the oropharynx. Okay, the mucous membrane has no papillae but has many lymphoid follicles that collectively constitute the lingual tonsil. Mucous glands are also present. Mucous glands are also present. Okay, so let's come back to the another important slide. Posterior most part of the tongue, it is connected to the epiglottis by three folds of mucous membrane. Okay, these are the median glossoepiglottic fold and the right and left lateral glossoepiglottic fold. On either side of the median fold, there is a depression called vallecula. The fold, lateral fold separate the vallecula forms the piriform fossa. So in this way, the posterior part of the tongue, these are the different structures that are present. Okay, how it is connected to the epiglottis by three folds of mucous membrane. These are the median glossoepiglottic fold, the right and left. These are the three folds that is connected with the epiglottis, isn't it? Next, come back to the muscles of the tongue. Middle fibrous septum divide the tongue into right and left. Okay, intriguing muscles. Okay, superior longitudinal, inferior longitudinal, transverse and vertical. So these are the intriguing muscles. Intriguing muscles means what? This one is the internal muscle. Another the extrinsic muscle, that is genioglossus, hypoglossus, styloglossus. Another the plateloglossus. So look here, here you will get all the muscles. These are the intriguing muscles. Okay, how this one is the longitudinal muscles are present, how transverse muscles are present, how vertical muscles are. Here you look here, this one is the genioglossus. Okay, geniohyaloid muscle. Okay, so in this way these muscles are present. Let's come back to intriguing muscle. Intriguing muscle occupy the upper part of the tongue, are attached to the submucous fibrous layer and to the median fibrous septum. They alter the shape of the tongue. Superior longitudinal muscle lies beneath the mucous membrane. It shortens the tongue and makes its dorsum concave. Inferior longitudinal muscle is a narrow band lying close to the inferior surface of the tongue between the styloglossus and the hypoglossus. Look here, these are the different muscles. How superior muscles? Okay, you look here. This one is the longitudinal muscle. This one is actually part of the intriguing muscles. Okay, here we will get the different types of muscle. Okay, let's come back to transverse muscle. These are the transverse muscle. You will look here. Okay, extend from the median septum to the margins. It makes the tongue narrow and elongated. Vertical muscles. It is found at the borders of the anterior part of the tongue. It makes the tongue broad and flattened. Okay, next come back to a stinging muscle. It connects to the tongue to the mandible via genioglossus. Look here, this one the genioglossus. This one is the tongue. Okay, hypoglossus. Okay, how that when muscles are attached to the inferior longitudinal. Therefore, look here, mandible via genioglossus. Hyoid bone through hypoglossus. This one is the hypoglossus. Here we'll get the what? Hyoid bone. Another pallid via plateloglossus. So these are the different bones. This one is the what? Okay, deep superficial. Okay, we'll get a mylohyoid bone. Another one is the myelo. Okay, we are getting here. Okay, We are getting anterior portion and posteriorly we are getting these two picture A and B. Next come back to genioglossus. It is a fan-shaped muscle. Okay, look here, fan-shaped muscle will get, which forms the main bulk of the tongue. Okay, it arises from the upper genial tubercle of the mandible. Here the fibers fan out and run backward. Upper fibers are inserted into the teeth. Middle fibers are inserted into the dorsum. Lower fibers are higher down. Upper fibers restrict the teeth. Middle fiber depress the tongue. Lower fibers pull posterior part of the tongue forwards and thus protrude the tongue from the mouth. So in this way, the different fibers are attached to the different part. Okay, upper fiber restrict the teeth. Okay, middle fiber depress the tongue. ओके मैं डिप्रेस द टंग नीचे टंग को नीचे कर सकते हैं ओके जवान को लोअर फाइबर्स क्या करते हैं पुल द पोस्टीरियर पार्ट ऑफ द टंग पीछे वो खींचता है तो दीज आर द डिफरेंट मसल that will control the tongue. Let's come back to hypoglossus. Okay, so it is an important landmark in the submandibular region. Okay, origin whole length of the greater foramen, cornua and lateral part of body of hyoid. Okay, another important thing is the fibers from upwards and forward. Okay, either it will go to the superiorly and it will go to the anteriorly. So insertion site of the tongue between styloglossus and inferior longitudinal muscles of the tongue, nerve supply. Remember the tongue is supplied by a nerve in nerve supply is hypoglossal nerve. Axon depress the tongue, makes dorsum convex, retracts the protruded tongue. Okay. Next, come back to the another important feature, that is styloglossus. Styloglossus will get deep and adjacent part of the anterior surface of the styloid process. Just wait. Okay, so in earlier slide we have to see. Okay, hypoglossal nerve during swallowing it pulls tongue upwards and backward. Again come back to deep and adjacent part of the anterior surface styloid process, as well as form the upper end of the stylo had a ligament. So it will also attach there. Here you have to get the structure. Okay, this one the inferior longitudinal. This one is the genioglossus. How it is controlled? Hypoglossus, styloglossus. On the other hand, these are the different structure that will control the tongue. Fibers pass downwards and forward. Okay, insertion into the site of the tongue intermittently. So what we will study in styloglossus. Okay, what are the fibers? And the fibers of the styloglossus pass downwards forward. So into the site of the tongue, intermingling with the fibers of the hypoglossus. Okay, nerve supply, hypoglossal nerve axon. During swallowing, it pulls the tongue upwards and the backward. Okay, next come back to the origin. Ular surface of the palatine aponeurosis. Descent in the palatoglossal insertion site of the tongue at the junction of the oral and pharyngeal parts. Cervical part of the accessory pulls of the root of the tongue approximate the palatoglossal arches the closest the oropharyngeal isthmus. Okay, next come back to the arterial supply. Okay, arterial supply is chiefly derived from the lingual artery. Okay, the tongue is supplied by artery known as lingual artery, a branch of external carotid artery. Root of the tongue is supplied by the tonsillar and ascending pharyngeal artery. So, okay, so in this way, the tongue is supplied by arterial supply. In blood is supplied to the tongue. Let's come back to the another important venous drainage. You look here, venous drainage. Veins of the tongue are called vena comitantis. The arrangement of the vena comitantis is variable. Two vena comitantis accompanying the lingual artery and one vena comitantis accompanying the hypoglossal nerve. The deep lingual vein is the largest and the principal vein of the tongue. Remember, the deep lingual vein is the largest and the principal vein of the tongue. It is visible on the inferior surface of the tongue. It runs backwards and crosses the genioglottal and the hypoglossal below the hypoglossal nerve. These veins united the posterior borders of the euloglossals to form lingual vein, which ends either in the common-facial vein or in the interjugular vein. Okay, next come back to lymphatic drainage. Tip of the trunk drains bilateral to the submental nodes. Right and left half of the remaining part of the anterior two-thirds of the tongue drain unilateral to the submandibular node. Few central lymphatic drain bilaterally to the same node. Posterior one-third of the tongue drains bilaterally to the jugulo-omohyoid node. These are known as lymph nodes of the tongue. Okay, so these are the lymph nodes. Next, come back to nerve supply of the tongue. Nerve supply anterior one third, posterior two third, and posterior most part of the vallicula. So, mean sensory nerve anterior two third will be supplied by the lingual nerve. Posterior one third will be supplied by the glossopharyngeal nerve. Posterior most part of the vallicula will be supplied by the internal laryngeal branch of the valve. Next, come to the test. Test will be the coda tympani, valet papillae, except will get the glossopharyngeal in valet papillae, including internal laryngeal branch of the valve. Development of epithelium of the lingual to the first arch tubercle tuberculum impair which soon disappear. Third arch which forms a large ventral part of the hypobranchial ligament. Fourth arch which forms small dorsal part of the hypobrachial ligament. Okay, so these are the nerve supply of the part tongue. Let's come back to histology of tongue. Okay, what is histology? The branch of medical science that deals with the study of the tissue. Okay, bulk of the muscles is made up of striated muscle. Mucous membrane consists of a layer of corium lined by stratified squamous epithelium. Oral part of the dorsum is thin, forms papillae, is adherent to the muscle. Pharyngeal part of the dorsum is very rich in lymphoid follicle. Inferior surface is thin and smooth. Numerous glands, both mucous and serous, lie deep to the mucous membrane. Okay, next come back to taste board. Taste boards are most numerous on the sides of the valet papillae on the walls of the surrounding sulci. They are numerous over foliate papillae, posterior one third of the tongue, sparsely distributed on the fusiform papillae, subpalate, epiglottis, and pharynx. No taste board on the mid dorsal regions of the oral part of the tongue. Look here, okay, you will get the taste board. Okay, how laterally the sutures are present, shoot taste boards are present. How posteriorly we will get the bitter taste board. Okay, anteriorly we will get the sweet taste board. On the okay, anterolateral we will get the salty taste board. Okay, so in this way the different taste boards are present on the tongue. Let's come back to the papillae of tongue. Papillae are projections of the mucous membrane of the corium, which give the anterior two-third of the tongue its characteristic roughness. Okay, we will get the here. These are known as papillae. That is roughness of the tongue will get here. Okay, they are of the following type. One is the valet or circumvalet papillae. These are the large in size, 1 to 2 mm in diameter, and are 8 to 12 in number. They are situated immediately in front of the sulcus terminalis. Okay, sulcus terminalis. Each papillae are cylindrical projections surrounded by circular sulcus. The walls of the papillae are raised above the surface. Okay, next come back to the fusiform papillae are numerous in number near the tip and margins of the tongue, but some of them are scattered over the dorsum. These are smaller than the valet papillae but larger than the filiform papillae. Each papilla consists of narrow pedicule and a large rounded head. They are distinguished by their bright red color. Okay. Next on the filiform papillae. Conical papilla covers the pericycle area of dorsum of the tongue and gives it characteristic valvate appearance. They are the smallest and the most numerous part of the lingual papillae. Okay, here look here, here you will get the circumvallate papillae, this one is the foliate papillae, filiform papillae, or another the fusiform papillae. Okay, so in this way the different papillae are arranged on the left side along with the right side. Okay, let's come back to the development of the tongue. Okay, epithelium. Anterior to third, frontolingual swelling one tuberculum impaired, which rise from the first branchial layer. Tuberculum impaired soon disappear. Okay, therefore separated by the lingual nerve, post traumatic and coda tympanic pre-traumatic. Posterior one third from cranial large part of the hypobranchial lineage. From the third bar are therefore supplied by the glossopharyngeal nerve. Posterior most part will get the from fourth eye, therefore supplied by the vagus nerve. Muscles develop from the occipital myotomes which are supplied by the hypoglossal nerve. Okay, next come back to connective tissue. Corneum develops from the local mesenchyme. Next come back to the okay, in this way the different important structures of the tongue has completed. Okay, just you have to again 1 second when we'll come back to the salivary gland, isn't it? Just outre join karibo mane you have to join another session. Okay, in succession with the first session. Okay, thank you very much. Outre join karibo sei number ID. Thank you all.